Great news, I did find the title of the video you linked. It's, "Can I share your fries, sir?" a girl asked at the cafe, unaware she spoke to a billionaire single dad. YouTube. Here's a long, engaging, emotional story paced for approximately 15-minute YouTube video based on that title, with a strong, inspiring message by the end. He looked like any other guy in the cafe, hood on, face buried in his phone, a coffee and fries in front of him. Nobody would have thought twice, but to 6-year-old Ellie, he was the only person brave enough to ask. She tugged at his sleeve, eyes hopeful. "Can I share your fries, sir?" she whispered, voice barely above the cafe hum. He blinked. The fork paused midair. Everyone else in the room seemed to dissolve, leaving only her, a tiny girl in mismatched clothes, duct-taped sneakers, and eyes big with innocent courage. He wasn't just another guy in a hoodie. He was Aiden Blackwell, a billionaire, a tech mogul who'd sold his companies to charities, lost the love of his life to cancer, and retreated from the world that both made and broke him. Ellie didn't know any of that. She just knew she was hungry. Aiden looked at her, really looked. There was no fear, no judgment, only raw, unfiltered humanity in her gaze. So he smiled, gently nudged his plate toward her, and said, "Of course." She grinned, and in that instant, something inside him softened. Ellie sat beside him, telling stories between bites, tales of her mom who worked 2 jobs, of her school where she was, much too small, and of her dreams to be an astronaut, a dancer, and a cookie taster all at once. Aiden listened, his own burdens momentarily lighter with every word she shared. Then came the question that changed everything. "Why are you here alone?" she asked. His heart tightened. His answer was simple and honest, not the boardroom speeches or media-trained responses, but the truth of a man who had once lost everything worth loving. "I was trying to find peace," he said. "But I think I forgot what it looked like." Ellie tilted her head. "Peace looks like sharing your fries," she declared. Something in Aiden cracked, not a collapse, but a release. A flood of emotions he'd buried deep rose to the surface. And for the first time in a long while, he cried. Ellie just reached across the table and held his hand. When Ellie's mom, Maria, rushed in, flustered and tired from juggling shifts, she was shocked to see her daughter calmly finishing someone else's meal. "I'm sorry," she began, but Aiden shook his head. "Please don't be," he said. "She's the best part of my day." Maria's eyes filled with gratitude. She explained they were struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, and some days were harder than others. Aiden felt something stir in his chest, a desire to help beyond fries. Before he left, he did something surprising. He pulled out his phone and made a call. By the next week, Maria received an envelope, not a check, not a handout, but an opportunity, enough funds to cover rent for several months, groceries for the family, and a scholarship to help Ellie pursue her dreams. Aiden didn't plaster it on social media. He didn't announce it to the world. He just did it, quietly, humbly, with a heart that finally understood what true success means. Later, a journalist who had spotted him at the cafe reached out. "Why help them?" she asked. Aiden thought about Ellie's face, her innocence, her simple act of bravery. He smiled softly and said, "Because a life worth living isn't the one you hide behind. It's the one you share." Ellie's question, 4 words from a child asking for a few fries, became the beginning of something far bigger, a reminder that kindness doesn't need fame to change a life, and that sometimes, just sometimes, a simple act can be the spark that redeems a weary heart. In the end, it wasn't about the fries. It was about seeing someone, about being seen, and about the courage to share.